Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
No. No. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
Like it so far?
Mm-hmm. Everybody's been real nice.
Well, that's because you have big jugs.
Got your attention?
Damn!
What is the biggest ick?
People like wrestling.
You can suck my fucking dick!
Well, we're back. It's Thursday night, Sweet Chin Music. And Pop, you used some different intros that time, so I didn't know how to time it, and I got caught looking at a comic. So we got the immortal Biggie Shack, my buddy, the YouTube sensation, I'm going to call you these days. And then, of course, we got our host, Papa Wheelie, and I'm Beckerman. And we're here to talk wrestling. Don't know how long tonight will be, but we're going to talk some wrestling. We're back. It's been a little hiatus.
Good to be here. Glad to be hanging out with Pop and Becker once again, dude. The original stable to Sweet Chin Music. So it's been a couple weeks. Last time I was here was Becker's birthday, and we're just going to go down the list of what we need to talk about, man. I'm just here to hang, so.
Yeah, and the next night I went to local wrestling with my crew, you know, and I'll tell you, I don't know if my wife will go again for a while. There was a really bloody match in the middle of it, like real indie style, like two guys that, you know, the kind of emaciated indie looking dudes. The one guy probably didn't weigh more than my left leg, you know. He was probably about 150 pounds. Hardcore stuff. Brother Joe took a bunch of, I wish he was here tonight. Brother Joe got a bunch of trophies from that match, but they were taking like cheese graters to each other's heads. Blood everywhere. I told my wife, I saw it coming. The guy was setting up a chair spot, like right in the landing zone in front of her. And I was like, honey, get behind me. Like, just pull your chair out. Like, just stand behind me. No one's, if you get blood on you, I know we're going to have to leave.
That's it. So, I thought I muted the mic. I'm sorry. So this is the portion. This is the portion of the show where Biggie Shack gets a Little Caesar pizza.
Yeah.
Nice. Check me out. We're getting a pizza. So that sucks. I got one that they showed me to make sure it looked fresh. She showed me a pizza pie, and it looked pretty. I'll show y'all in a second when I get it. It looks pretty good. You got to make sure they're fresh and popping, right? Hold on.
I don't know if I've had Little Caesars in years. Like it's probably been 15 years.
All right, y'all ready for this glory?
Yeah.
Check it out, boys. Boom.
Yeah, that's not a bad looking pie.
It looks like a fresh pie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it don't look too bad. I usually order them ahead of time, but didn't have time. I didn't want to miss the bonanza over here with my boys. You know, I was doing a live stream, and I got a $50 and a $10 super chat. I was raking it in. I was making all the money. But your boy Biggie is loyal. And when I say I'm going to be somewhere, I'm going to by golly be there. So I came here for good old Pop and Beckerman. I'm here.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. We're glad to have you. So Biggie Shack, this past wrestling cycle, while our hiatus, we had WWE Crown Jewel just happened. And we had, what else, Pop? We've had AEW is doing AEW stuff. I watched that last night. The Moxley group is called the Death Riders now. And yeah, that's just one thing I would say is the Hurt Business is back in AEW. We've got Bobby Lashley, we've got Shelton Benjamin, and MVP. And
Yeah.
my God, have you seen any of that footage yet?
Oh yeah, I've seen some. Yeah. They made it kind of dramatic when they debuted Benjamin, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and then Lashley just came out, not this week, but the week before. Hey, the circumstances, what's up, buddy? Was just talking about local wrestling right before you got here. Hey to Kenneth Bird. So
Or man,
yeah, the Hurt Business. Lashley is a monster, obviously, but even Shelton Benjamin looks big in this company. Like those two together could probably clean out half the locker room. And with MVP with them, yeah. I mean,
yeah. I don't think there's any chance that MVP will actually perform. It's refreshing to see more manager talent these days, and I think he's I think he could be a good manager. I like his Hurt Business gimmick. Dude, those guys meet up off air and away from wrestling. They're a real like family almost. I've seen them in like restaurants and bars hanging out. Like they love each
they
other.
all
I
left
really do.
WWE together.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to think with the Hurt Business, Pop, do you think they'll try to cross them over with the Death Riders? Because I think that's a bad idea. I think you will make Moxley and Claudio, they won't look as imposing next to Bobby Lashley. And if they're trying to make the Death Riders last, you're going to have to keep them separate from the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm excited to see what happens. All their matches, I mean, they haven't had that many yet, but they've all looked good. Shelton Benjamin's been in the business 25 years at this point. Nobody's going to make him look ridiculous in the ring.
Now, what do you think about I mean, there was a little bit of talk, maybe some gossip going around it. Is there any chance of making Benjamin your world champ? Like, what do you think of that? Is that something
Probably
to think
not
about?
at his age. I think
No.
Bobby Lashley would be more likely, and he's 49. But my God, who looks better than Bobby Lashley in that company?
Nobody.
Unless Wardlow comes back.
I never really think I've ever seen a Shelton Benjamin match besides the one with HBK where I was like, he's top level talent, like for me.
Well,
so
if you see him work in this company, he looks like top level talent.
Okay.
But again, I mean, we've got a lot of indie guys, undersized dudes that when you put them next to Shelton Benjamin, they don't look like athletes. And people forget Shelton Benjamin's a former D1 athlete himself.
Right. Yeah, he's a wrestler.
Yeah, he's a real deal.
Oh.
Yes, Bob.
I'm tired of WWE groups going to you and just renaming the group.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they went to AEW and they just basically moved. And who else just moved there too? The Maximum Models or whatever, right? Rene Dupree's old group. That tag team, they just went over.
FBI? Oh, no, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it was like Maxine Dupree and Rene Dupree's group. LA Knight was Rene Dupree or whatever. And he had like a modeling agency. It was one of the last of the terrible Vince ideas. And you know how Vince likes to have people be like, what if a ballerina was a wrestler? What if a male model?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen a clip of Billy Badass and the guy that was like the gay wrestler get into it a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Rico. They just had that at their last. They just had that at their last pay-per-view. They brought Rico back, and he was actually with the male models, and they lost to Billy Gunn and the Acclaim. And Billy Gunn had this bizarre promo where he was like, "You're the guy that almost convinced me to marry another man." I was like, really, guys? Do we need to go back to the worst of Vince's ideas?
Yeah. So that was fun, I guess. I saw on the Crown Jewel that I think the world champion men and women champions got rings this year. Did you see that part?
Yep. Rings
Yeah, that's
to,
kind of cool.
to represent their belts. So they got those comically sized belts. Like Liv Morgan, spoiler alert, Liv Morgan won her match. It looked like that belt was going to tip her over.
Yeah. Yeah, the rings look cool, though. I wonder if they're real. I bet they were. Those probably cost a couple dollars to get.
Dude, they came from the Saudis. They're definitely real.
You never know, man.
Hey, every time you fill up your tank, you paid for a part of that ring.
That's true.
He said he had an amazing year.
And the Adam Cole's group just renamed when they went over to AEW. Yeah. Adam Cole's faction of what is it? Kyle O'Reilly and what's the guy that always says Adam? Yeah, Roddy Strong. Yeah, they were the undisputed era. I liked them in NXT, but yeah, I think. Have you followed any AEW, Pop? I know Biggie watches clips. Man, Adam Cole is not over. That crowd is not digging him right now. I don't even know, like, if he could go back to NXT at this point. He looks thinner than ever. Like, he was never a big guy, but he looks so thin and so, like, not intimidating. And his promos are just not what they used to be.
Yeah. So I know this might not, you guys might not agree with this, but I mean, talent-wise, I feel like Ricochet's made some good moves. He might have, like, be a top 5 performer at this point at AEW. No?
Baker is more over than Cole. His girlfriend, I don't even know if they're still together, to be honest. They're not. Okay. I didn't think.
I mean, Ricochet's fucking promos are horrible, but I saw that match with him and Offspray, and they were doing all the counters and shit. That was not bad.
Good match. I just wish they wouldn't have beat him so early. Like, he's already lost a couple times now. I think with him, like, what back in the 80s, you never saw a guy like that was going to be pushed, at least, enter a company. They wouldn't lose for like 8 months, right? Like, what happened to that? Like, why are you paying all this money to bring these guys in, and then you beat them in like their second match? Actually, Ricochet lost his first match.
It's like they're in a rush to have the best show they can, but they do not have an ounce of story making in them. Like, I don't know, dude.
Can you imagine if the first time you saw like an Ultimate Warrior or whatever, he lost? Like, how do you build a fan base off of a guy that, like, all right, we've brought in this guy who is from this other company, and he's here to do big things, and he just lost. And now you saw that his fiance is joining him.
On what? Who?
Samantha Irvin.
Ricochet?
She left WWE to go be with Ricochet in AEW. I know you weren't a fan of her.
Oh, is that the fucking announcer?
Yes.
Oh, I thought she went to like something else besides wrestling. She's back in wrestling? Oh, no.
Yeah, she's going to AEW. Because so she had this big Twitter post where she was like, the real reason I left was like WWE only saw me as an announcer and I want to do so much more. I want to be involved in the business, in the ring, maybe as a manager or something, or a general manager.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan, but I do think that she will help them get a few more viewers. There'll be some TikTok clips or something of her knitting a dress in the corner. You know, that's what she does.
The Biggie Shaq hatred of Samantha Irvin.
Well, I mean, what is she good at?
Did you?
I don't get it. I mean, ain't that what she's done before? What is she going to do? What is she famous for?
Announcer. I don't know what was wrong with being an announcer, and I don't know.
No, she's definitely going to announce, and she'll definitely be doing like her own little sideshow after she does it. That's what she's known for, is what I think, and that would be good for them.
Well, you saw who they replaced her with in WWE, right? They brought Lillian Garcia back.
Lillian, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we've talked about. Yeah, I see your comment, Pop Becker. What do you expect from a pissant company like AEW? Pop, you're consistent, Pop. You're consistent. I'm giving them a chance right now. There's stuff I like that's going on, and then there's stuff I just kind of. I'm not a Moxley fan. The ship has sailed on him. I used to like him in WWE as Dean Ambrose, but he's lost his damn mind. And this whole him and that Marina Shafir walking around like they're wearing skis on their feet or something. I don't know. They're just goons. Claudio looks unimportant. But stuff I like right now. I like the Hurt Business. I don't hate that Private Party became tag team champs. I'm glad that the Young Bucks went away for a while. I think they needed to do that. How's the pizza, Big?
It's not bad. I'm kind of hungry. Yeah, I'm not mad at AEW. Claudio, though, dude, him just being a henchman is not working for me. He could be a superstar. He's great.
He's the toughest looking guy in his group.
Yeah, and I think you're right about Moxley. Like, I think what Moxley's deal is right now is that he feels like he has creative control and they're letting him do things, but his ideas are just like FCW or like old school stupid extreme match shit. Like, okay, we get it. You got a background in that, but you're being gave the spot of the top dog. Like, you're supposed to be our Hogan right now. You're supposed to be our Ric Flair. Do something classy and make this shit good. Don't turn it into a shit show, you know?
Well, and that's the thing. Like, what's his whole gimmick? You know, they walk around and they beat people up, and then they beat them up again, and they beat them up again. Nobody's getting over that way. Like this, the NWO built up Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah.
And when DDP won the title, the roof came off the place. I don't know if we're going to have that moment with this group. You know, like, I know they're kind of setting Orange Cassidy up to be that guy right now. Like, he's going to get all serious. But, I mean, Orange Cassidy is not DDP.
No.
I do think he's got a fan base. I think Orange Cassidy is a guy that holds a lower level title, and that's it. I don't think you push him to the big stage. I don't think you put the title on him.
I am interested to see what your opinion is on so when Roman was in the ring with Jimmy Uso and Jay came out, and Jay he's like, He's doing all the talking. Roman's just
Mhm.
there mute. He wasn't saying nothing. And he's like, "Are you with this or are you not with this? Because if you ain't, I'll take you out my damn self." You know, like, "Oh, okay, Jay, I like the fire." You know, like you're telling him how it is. And Roman's like, "Yeet." He says yeet or something, right? Um, what do you think about this stoic Roman? Like, is he just shitty at promos? Like, what's going on with him?
Oh, with Roman, I think he just gets. Sorry, my cat is like banging the door down right now. Um, Funny enough, I think with Roman, he doesn't have to say a lot. Sometimes he'll just milk a look. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
he'll just draw out that gaze. Like when somebody says something, he doesn't react, but everybody knows what's going on when he just kind of tilts his head and gives you that side glance. He's got great like
Charisma.
Yeah, charisma. I don't know.
Okay,
What do
fair
you
enough.
think of Yeet? Are we over it? Does everybody hate Yeet at this point? Oh,
No, I've been rooting for the. I feel like he should have been the lead of the. He should have been the head of the table whenever Roman left, in my opinion, because he was the most against Roman. He got kicked out. Go ahead, Pop. You got something to say, bud? I'm sorry.
I think he's still typing. I think that Yeet stuff is terrible. I don't mean Jay. I don't mean Jey Uso. I like Jey Uso. I hate that word.
Yeah, I'm not into the word.
It takes me out of it. So like they have these important promos where like you said, they were bringing up family stuff and like how are we going to do this? And then you saw Sami Zayn helped them out, but then accidentally hit Roman at Crown Jewel. And now they're playing this thing. Can we trust Sami Zayn again? And Sami seems to be there to help them, but they're playing the whole backstage stuff where Jimmy and Jay caught him talking to Solo, and you know what was he saying to him, that stuff. But during all of that, all of a sudden Jay just looks at this situation and says, "No Yeet." Like, come on.
Oh.
Adults don't talk like this.
Yeah. I think that it's about as annoying as LA Knight's shit. For me, it's a little fresher than LA. I've been over LA Knight for a long time. The only gimmick that still is decent is Hendry. Like, that one's still tolerable. But everybody else is old, dude.
So you're not feeling LA Knight?
Hell no.
I think it was a mistake to the whole thing with him and Mello and Andrade. That just didn't feel important, did it, Pop? It kind of, I mean, it's a fine get you over match on the Saudi pay-per-view, but I don't know. I think LA Knight needs a real opponent and somebody bigger, and he needs to beat him if they're going to keep the shine on him, because I think Big E's right. I think the crowd's starting to get out of it.
Well, it gotta be.
He still gets a big pop, but it ain't like it was 6 months ago.
Now, me saying that, the guy has achieved a tremendous amount of respect just because he's doing Slim Jim videos with Macho Man. Okay, so for me, that's about as big of a promo push as you can get. And shout outs to Macho Man for still being fucking relevant. Like,
yeah, long after he's passed away.
Oh my god, it's so crazy. And if you're like your peak is being able to do commercials with Macho Man, that's pretty good to me. So I think that he's great. I think he did good, but it's gonna get old. He ain't gonna last as long as Macho Man, as long as it's stone cold as a rock, because it's reused material. It's not even his own real material, you know.
I would agree with that. It seems to have run its course, and that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen with the whole Yeet business. is I feel like he's the next one to burn out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it has like a Daniel Bryant vibe, but just not as good. But it's fine with me. I'm over it. So I'm hearing that the next gimmick match is going to be Kevin Owens and Randy Orton with Cody Rhodes being special referee. Have you heard that yet?
I think that might be where they're headed.
What do you think about that? Give Cody a break after the pummeling he took from old boy Vladimir Volchov, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Gunther.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Papa.
so do you think it's time to turn Randy on Cody? Because I think that's where we're headed. I think Randy's going to be the one to turn on Cody.
Yeah, they're definitely saying that Randy is going to turn heel. He's got to turn heel before Rumble, is what people are saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
No.
When does Drew McIntyre or CM Punk come back?
I don't know, but I do love that CM Punk had a great match, and he had it in WWE after he left. That last match he had at the pay-per-view, people didn't like the beads and all that stuff. Hey, guys, if you aren't happy with CM Punk not botching a match and actually having a decent match, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're just not a wrestling fan. I am so glad he was able to get through that match and not botch, because it just did something for me. I wanted him to have that. I don't love Punk, but just for wrestling, we got to have that hope that CM Punk can be that guy. So if he could get those kind of matches off, that does a lot for the business, bro.
Yeah. So what's the next pay-per-view now? We got Survivor Series right around the corner, right? Have they announced that? Is that let me see if I can find my phone here. Have they announced any matches for Survivor Series yet?
I'll tell you the truth, if they did, I don't know. All I heard is about the rumor. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Maybe. Survivor Series. War Games. So it's Saturday, November 30th, and we don't have anything announced for it yet. But you have to imagine the Bloodline's going to go at it again. It'll involve Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at that.
Rhea Ripley's hurt again. Sorry, yeah, I just had to bring up, man, Rhea being out again. This hurts wrestling. I know you don't like her as much.
I don't hate her. She's probably the biggest draw for, besides, of course, both of our favorite Charlotte Flairs, but she's the second biggest draw possible in wrestling for women. Like, there's no doubt about that.
She's bigger than Charlotte Flair right now, or at least right when she got injured.
Maybe. For me, I felt like Charlotte would put off a better match if you just gave her a shot. But, you know, she's probably more over as of right now. As soon as Charlotte comes back, though, she's gonna be neck and neck. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, but we'll see.
And they'll be in Vancouver.
That's the main event, though, right? Who else you put up against Rhea for the best match you could have right now?
Yeah, it would be Charlotte if Charlotte was healthy right now. She'll be back though, right? Pop, how far out are we on a Charlotte return? No idea. And now her husband is in the company. Andrade's back, so maybe they'll do a storyline with them. Acknowledge that they're married. I'm not sure. Papa Wheelie says series or Rumble. Okay. He thinks she'll be back soon. Papa Wheelie says Punk was never going to be full-time, so I'm guessing Rumble. Yeah. All right. You're talking about Punk. Yeah, it could be as long as the Rumble. I hope he comes back before then, though. I hope I don't have to wait that long.
So maybe build up some storyline with Randy. So here's another thing that's been bugging me though, Becker, is like Cena came out and said this is his farewell tour. Well, where the fuck is where's his matches coming? Are we ever gonna get a match?
January, right? I think after January, he's fulfilling his obligations as Peacemaker right now.
Okay, so what does that mean though? Like just the
means
Rumble?
When he's done filming, he's gonna show back up in January, and then he's going to do one last ride on tour. Okay. They've already been selling tickets for some of that, I think. They have like a partial schedule released for like all the towns he's gonna hit. We'll see him a lot, but yeah, he said from the beginning that he had to finish doing Peacemaker stuff through December here, and then starting next year he's gonna be WWE for like, is it the whole year, Pop, or is it like 8 months? The whole year. So next year is John Cena's retirement tour. Now, is that anything that interests you, Biggie? Would that get you to go out to a local wrestling event if John Cena hit town?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Hell no, I didn't worry about that.
No.
Do I care if I ever see John Cena wrestle? No. Shit, Hogan went to Columbus, and I wasn't too worried about going and seeing him. I'm just not a mark for like seeing wrestlers, but I appreciate him. Would I love to run across like John Cena at the grocery store? Hell yeah. But do I think like he's a generational talent? No.
Oh, come on, Biggie.
No? You think he's that good?
He was the Hogan he was the second coming of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I mean he did
you
go
were an
to
adult though. See, that's the difference. You were an adult. Little kids, my nephew cried when he met John Cena. Cried tears.
I just don't think that he was as cool as Hogan. Like Rock was.
Because you were an adult when you saw him. It wasn't
okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
Think about the colors and like the wristbands and throwing them out to the crowd.
Yeah. No, I think I understand your analogy. You know that him and Hogan are the two top Make-A-Wish wrestler appearance people, right?
Yeah, and John Cena has the record.
Yeah, Hogan had it, and John Cena took it.
You're right. And I think that's why I'm surprised you don't like him, because here's a guy that understood like the Hulk Hogan method, how to get over, be kid friendly. He didn't go heel because of the kids, you know what I mean? Hogan went heel only because he had a longer career than John Cena, and he had to kind of refresh.
Yeah. It's he's close to Hogan-esque, but I mean Hogan didn't have the Hollywood like Cena could have had, and you know it wasn't exactly the same. Hogan's a whole different breed, but it's as close as you're gonna get. I mean, besides The Rock,
it's the closest we've had since The Rock. You had Hogan, then you had The Rock, and now you've got John Cena, and he's retiring.
Yeah, he's the last of an era. I agree with that.
I don't know if we'll ever see anybody like that again. I know
Cody's probably not
to be that person, but Cody Rhodes is no John Cena.
No, you're right. I'm just not I never even got to see Hogan, so don't judge me too much. But I could see why somebody would want to go see it.
And I get where you're like, nah, I just didn't understand it. Well, you weren't supposed to, because by the time John Cena was wrestling, you were an adult.
Well, you were about my age, and you seemed to understand it pretty good. So I don't know.
I understand it. I didn't like him. I was one of the people out in the crowd going, "Cena sucks."
Yeah, I think everybody was at one point.
Well, all the old guys, you know. But my little nephew, man, that's what got him into wrestling. He had all, you know, and of course Uncle Mike spoiled the hell out of him. So I bought him all the wristbands, the hat, the shirt, you know.
Yeah.
He
Never give up.
Yep. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Like,
yeah.
Jaden
No, it would be
all
fun.
about it.
It would be fun. Well, you got okay. So the thing with The Rock and Cena, so the People's Elbow was definitely a Hogan leg drop, and then the 5 knuckle shuffle was definitely a Hogan leg drop. Besides that, no wrestlers got that big using that kind of gimmick. Besides those two, so I get the comparisons.
Yeah, actually, right before Survivor Series in 2015, maybe, or SummerSlam. Sorry, SummerSlam. My nephew and I went to Wizard World Chicago. This would have been 2014, 2015, something like that. It was my nephew's first big con, and he met John Cena. And I'll tell you what got me to stop saying Cena sucks out in the crowd is when I took my nephew back to meet him, and they got their picture and everything. I stayed out of it because I didn't need to be in that photo. But Jaden goes up, takes his photo with him. They talked for about 30 seconds. And then as we're getting ready, you know, I've got his stuff. We're ready to leave out of the photo booth area. Cena starts to greet the next people. And he's like, hold on 1 second. He runs over, shakes my hand, and he says, thank you, sir, for bringing your nephew all this way to see me. We really appreciate it, you know.
Oh, wow.
Have a safe drive home.
Huh.
That's like, holy shit. Like,
do you think that what he did on Total Divas was a work, or do you think he's really that way?
I think he's that guy 24/7. Whether or not it's genuine, I think at this point it doesn't matter because he's never going to break kayfabe at this point. I don't know if any human can be as respectful and as nice as him, but that was incredible to me. Like he didn't have to do that. It's just kind of, I think he's really that good of a dude.
He's almost better to the fans than he is with just relationships, the way it looks.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's something to be said for that too. He never wanted to have kids of his own, but he does all that charity work with kids. Like,
yeah, he's good to people he's never met, but people that he actually knows, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah, I don't
know. I know people from Boston, like my boy 84. He's from freaking Massachusetts, where John Cena's from, and you would think anybody from that state would love him, and he's just like, yeah, he's a schmuck.
I don't know. I had a good experience meeting him, and it was a big deal to my nephew at the time, who's now in college. So that I'll tell you, it was a while ago. But anyway, what else are we going to talk about here? We've covered AEW. We talked about Crown Jewel. Nia Jax lost to Liv Morgan, and Cody Rhodes beat Gunther. They're your Crown Jewel champions. They got rings. We talked about that. Did anything else come out of that pay-per-view besides the bloodline? The new bloodline beat the old bloodline.
So Roman lost, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it was a numbers game. The numbers game. And that's why they're playing up that Sami Zayn's coming in to be the equalizer, but can we trust him?
Okay. Good for them for going with the underdogs, but okay. I heard that Fatu might be switching sides and turning babyface, maybe.
Dude, I would be all right with that. He's got something special. We've been saying it for as long as before he even came into WWE, right? We were singing this guy's praises.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. Push him to the moon. And they've supposedly hired other members of the family. There's 2 more Samoans waiting in the wings to come in, right, Pop? So they're going to keep refreshing this. It's crazy how long the bloodline's gone on now as a thing.
Yeah. Would you be devastated if it went away?
A little bit, just because it's usually some of my favorite segments.
Yeah, I would like for it to be around a little longer, but I'm getting a little wore out on it. I could besides Jacob and Roman, I could probably do without the rest of them.
But look at how much more we can do with it. We still haven't brought The Rock back completely, right?
Nah, yeah. And he did pretty good when he came, so
Yeah. They're going to keep refreshing it. That's the thing. They're changing it up. They changed the faces involved in it. They switched the storylines around.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, did you think they'd be keeping it going years now at this point? Has the
No.
bloodline been going for like 3 years now almost?
I could live with
4 years?
Oh, it's been almost half a decade. It's probably been almost a decade of him reigning. But I could live without a main event WrestleMania without Roman. I could hope for that, but I don't think it will happen.
I don't think you're doing it anytime soon. I think he's definitely going to be a part of this year or this coming year. But yeah, man, I think we're going to start to wrap it up. Pop, you okay with that? All right, man. While Pop gets ready to end this, Biggie Shack, what do you got coming up?
Comic Book Club tomorrow night. We're doing, I think Bobby Delgado and Darth Lopez is going to be battling on Book Club tomorrow, and I'm excited for that. And then we're going to do Iron Chef style. Then they'll battle one of the Iron Collectors. And I'm not saying Darth or Bobby ain't as good as us, but it's just a game. And I always do speculation, and it's a whole network over on my YouTube area. So there's different shows. Yeah, it's a different show every day. So just come and check me out.
All right, and for Papa Wheelie Pop, you got any sales coming up or anything? Nope. Bloodline started around 2020. Okay, so yeah, it's been over. We're going into year 5 then. Wow.
Damn, so just a Bloodline.
So the fact that you don't hate it by now, Biggie,
it's pretty crazy.
Something.
Well, yeah, I don't feel like it's been almost 5 years, but Roman's been running for what, 5 years before that. So
right. Yeah. Well, folks, you can catch me. I do have a bit. I never plug stuff, but I gotta plug this. Tuesday, the Hucklebuck-Tenniel live show Tuesday night. Me and Alan Rue, the Comic Viking, we have our 100th episode of the Hucklebuck. So
wow.
Yep, and we're calling it the Hucklebuck-Tenniel. And I paid Alan Rue off. I gave him that Punisher book with John Bernthal on the cover. And he's going to do a little dance for us.
Yes. Oh, I'm watching that.
Yeah, so he's gonna come out in his biker chaps, and he's going to dance to HBK's entrance music.
Sexy boy.
Yeah. I think I'm cute. I know.
Oh my
sexy.
God.
I got the looks. Yeah, he's doing it.
Wow.
So, yeah, there's no such thing as a free book, I guess.
That's going to be the best show of the year.
Yeah, I can't believe I got him to agree to it. But
I am so proud of Alan. I'm so proud of him for doing that. That's good for him.
But yeah, so you can check us out Tuesday, Comic Viking. Be there. So yeah. Anyway. Catch us here next week, Thursday.
Adios, amigos.
Look at Sable. How could you not? Ah.